got our podcast, thinking you should watch it. If you driving, man, it's good for you to listen. No, we keep it real, no, we spit it raw. Sports dialogue, know it's good if I'm involved. No, we're not the news, we just cool dude with nobody to impress. Just talking our shit, call it pressman coverage. Pressman coverage.
Welcome into Pressman Coverage, a podcast dedicated to you, the fan. Unfortunately, the fan of an 0-1 football team. But we're going to talk today about our Week 2 matchup against the Los Angeles Rams in Nashville, in the crib.
Let's go.
As we get them boys ready to experience Broadway. All right, so before we dive into this matchup and all that it entails, always got to introduce the crew. Let's start off with Big Sauce today, man. How you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I'm out here taped up like Mick Foley before he gets in a hardcore match. But
is that man coming over there?
Yeah, hey, we here though, man. First home game on the way. It feels good, man. We're looking to redeem ourselves, man. And unfortunately, we got to roll over those Rams, man. Let's go, tighten up.
Let's get it, Cody. How you feeling, baby?
Man, let's take that 0-1. Let's just crumble it up and let's throw it away. Let me tell you who else is 0-1. The Lions, 0-1. The Ravens are 0-1.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
They went to the playoffs.
Who was in the Super Bowl last year and played the Eagles?
The Chiefs are
0-1. Look.
There's hope for us yet, ladies and gentlemen.
We back.
If you believe, straight. I'll believe.
That's right. Hey, Cody?
But the problem is, Callahan's our coach.
Oh, God, I knew it was coming.
My bad.
No. But for real, man, I do appreciate the energy, though, man, because we did see a lot of good things in week 1. And some things that, were overshadowed from a positive perspective by the poor play of certain players and then poor management. But the good thing about football, as we mentioned on our post-game episode, is that it's a week-to-week sport. And we don't have a bye week for a few weeks, so we're right back to it. And we've got the Rams at home. One thing I do want to say before we dive into the specifics of this matchup, if you have any capacity to show up to Nissan Stadium, I would do it. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
We have a rookie quarterback that we believe in collectively as a fan base. Regardless of who else you believe in on the team, whether you love Big Jeff, hate Brian, love Brian, hate Amy, love Ridley, I don't care. Show up for Cam Ward, and when you come, let's be loud. I know I sound like a true fan right here, but I don't care.
Bring that
energy.
energy.
Fan. I am going to be in there turned to the max. I don't drink, but I'm going to crack a couple beers and pour them over my head. That's how turned off for the beach.
Stone Cold style.
I'm back. I'm going crazy.
They need a show for us too. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll take care of this part, Lim.
I like
Golly. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, do it all for us, please.
Do it all, man. Do it all. And I do want to give a shout out. I neglected to do this a little bit earlier, but I want to give a shout out to our winner who came through with our 1,000th follower. It was a video that came through. They sent it to us. What was on Instagram, Cody? They sent to us. This is our social media.
It was on
manager,
Instagram.
Cody. It was on Instagram. So a big shout out for you coming through. I'll get your name here in just a second, but thank you so much for being that 1,000th viewer. We definitely love and respect the fact that you came through. You were that guy. Your T-shirt is in the mail if you haven't already got it.
He's doing a real good job at killing time trying to find this man's name.
Yeah, no, I'm trying my hardest.
Hey,
but
man,
I want to make sure
good press, man. T. Hey, and he came through nice, man. We like what you did, man. You screen recorded. You being that 1,000th follower, man. You made sure you had the correct proof. Followed all the signs, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Lim. Yeah, say Billy Mount.
Kyle Ewing out of Ohio. That's right. Thank you so much. But I appreciate it. But look, I don't talk too much already. Let's dive into this matchup. So, Titans versus Rams. For those who are bettors, we are plus 5.5
point dogs
coming into it. 5.5 point dogs. We got to fight. But some of the key things that we're going to have to work through. One, protection issues. Mm-hmm. The Rams defensive line absolutely got after it. They were one of the best ranked line groups for week 1. They were the second best overall for week 1 behind who we played, ironically. So they really bring the noise. Byron Young, Jared Verse, even Kobe Turner on the inside, Brayton Fisk. I mean, they've got a whole host of linemen who get after it. They're kind of like what we want to be in the future, having big, strong, athletic, young linemen, what we're hoping
Hmm.
to be building towards. They've got that now. So we're going to really, really have to fight. Cody, tell me your thoughts on this Rams pass rush and what the Titans are going to have to do to be successful.
Doesn't get any easier. It does not get any easier. I mean, no, our offensive line, they let us down. They let us down. I was a big believer in his offensive line, watching the preseason and everything. And that first week, man, they let us down. I think the health status of J.C. Latham is still up in the air. If he can't go, dude, we may be in some deep doo doo.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting for us because Ali Udo didn't show well. I think he played
Yeah.
11 snaps, and in those 11 snaps had like 3 or 4 pressures, gave up a sack. I
You know what
mean,
we're gonna call him? Ollie.
what?
Uh-oh.
Oh goodness, and the thing is the part that sucks the most about that is in order to keep them from not absolutely wrecking the game, if Latham can't go, which to be honest, I don't think he will. He hasn't been made available to media or anything of the sort since he's gotten injured. And yes, that is standard protocol, at least for the Tennessee Titans. I just know how we operate. He's going to be listed as week to week is probably what it's going to be, and it's a 2 or 3 week injury. But understanding that it's going to limit our offense too because we're going to have to chip and have people stay in. The thing that we were hoping we would be able to get away from, here we
Hmm.
are in week 2 and really was halfway through week 1 without being able to get that opportunity. Randall, what do you think about that, man? How are we going to end up faring overall?
Like you said, man, I agree with you guys. This is definitely going to be a test for the offensive line. If we can play collective and play together, I think we can pull this win out. This is going to take some real coaching from Brian Callahan, and like hopefully he shook the cobwebs off and got that rust off and got the nerves out the way, and he's coming to coach this week. It was pretty interesting hearing like some of the press conference. I think as news is slowly leaking out a little bit more and a little bit more, I think some of those communication issues have just been because of the play calling being new and Cam and audibling at the line. But to me, I still look at it as a good sign because he has that trust and um he has the keys to the building, I guess you would say, or keys to the vehicle to be able to have that trust to go up and call those audibles at the line. So it's going to take to be sharper in the discipline and knowing of what we're going to do on the fly with Cam and what's comfortable. But um, I'm hopeful for the pass protection that defense was getting after it, man. Um, yeah, we're gonna have to play together. Like it's gonna have to
Yeah.
take some real team ball this week.
Yeah. Get out there, Gunner Helm. We need
Yeah,
your help.
yeah, we need them. We need
Dude,
them baby hands. You know what I'm saying?
man, get out there and punch somebody. I mean, because at the end of the day, when you look at the trenches matchup, when it comes to pass protection, we were the 31st ranked team based on Pro Football Focus in pass block grade. The 32nd overall team were actually the Los Angeles Rams, believe it or not.
Wow,
They were the
wow.
worst pass block graded team based on Pro Football Focus. So when we look at the other side of the football, there's going to be certain things that we may have actually a little advantage of. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, they didn't play well last week in terms of their starters, but Steve Avila and Kevin Dotson, the starting left and right guard for the Los Angeles Rams, are questionable going into this week and both listed as week to week. The fact that they're not day to day tells me that it's highly likely that they'll miss this game, especially because I think the Rams have the Eagles coming up right after us. And with that,
Let's eat,
yeah,
fellas.
yeah,
Meatloaf. Let's let's eat,
they've got
baby.
Philly right after us, and they've got a bad taste in their mouth from what happened last year. So I think it'll
Mm,
be pretty interesting to see how that goes because maybe they're going to sit those guys just to rest them up for Philly, who in their mind has a better defensive front, which they do if you include the edge rushers. But when it comes to interior guys, if those two guys aren't starting, I think with Bo Limmer, who's likely going to go to center, maybe Coleman Shelton can move out to guard, and Bo Limmer could go to guard. Either one of those two, we could really apply some pressure there. Cody, you're a meatloaf guy when it comes to pressures. He was on a pitch count last week. I think it'll be a little bit more opened up this week for him. What are your thoughts on what our interior line could do?
Yeah, this is a big Jeff Simmons, big meatloaf game right here. Jeff Simmons was eating last week. I mean,
Yeah.
He was playing basically a perfect game until he decided to shove the quarterback down like
Yeah.
15 seconds after the whistle. But we'll look past it. That's week one. That's behind us. Meatloaf is out here. He's hitting the quarterback before the quarterback could even like get to the line of scrimmage on a quarterback sneak. I expect them to go crazy this game.
Yeah, and they'll have to. And Sebastian Joseph Day was another piece last week that really ate. A lot of the pressures that came from Jeff Simmons were actually because of Sebastian Joseph Day creating havoc on the other side, and them
Hmm.
having to. They'll slide pressure one way. Sebastian Joseph Day will beat his man pretty quick. They're trying to jump back over to him, and now Jeff's got an opportunity. So I'm looking forward to that. From an edge rush perspective, we didn't get many pressures. Femi Oladejo had two pressures credited to him, but those were both on plays where he was intentionally left as the unblocked man.
But wasn't blocked.
So we'll see. Arden Key had one pressure credited to him. Randy, from an edge rush perspective, how do you think things are going to go? They've got Arlick Jackson, Rob Havenstein on the other side in terms of left tackle and right tackles. Those guys are pretty solid. They're not all world guys, but they're guys who hold their own. So what are your thoughts on how our edge rushers can create pressure, and what is Denard going to do to create pressure overall, even outside of the edge rush group?
Um, with these injuries, I think stylistically this may be more of a pressure through the interior, maybe a couple of linebacker blitzes. I would say I don't know if we're gonna get much production from our edges this game. I probably wouldn't bank on it. I just see Denard getting creative. If this offensive line is coming to play, then I just see Denard getting creative with how he sends different blitzes or just tricky trickster things to just keep Stafford off balance and to make mistakes ultimately. Same thing of what he did with Bo Nix. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get I don't know if I don't think we're gonna get much production from the edges this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we definitely don't have no Will Anderson
no,
Yeah.
coming out of that locker room.
no, and Will might not even be the best edge rusher they have. It may be Danielle Hunter.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I think we're probably going to have to bring like heavy blitzes because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes the thought process that I have is that this Matt Stafford was dealing with a back injury all off season. And so that makes me think he's not going to be able to move well. Now, granted, he is a wily veteran. He'll probably be able to pick everything apart, but maybe you can get him a little off balance and force him into some mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
because
and
he was
I
sacked
was gonna
seven
say I was
times
gonna
total.
add in
I
real
mean,
quick,
three
man.
times total. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Hmm.
I just wanted to add in like last week I seen that he took about 4 sacks. I don't know how many pressure hits, but yeah, they got him on the ground about 4 times.
Yeah, they gave it to him. They had three total sacks for I think a total loss of 21 yards. And the thing about Matt Stafford is he gets the ball out quick. That's the name of the game for him. So if he's doing that pressure up the middle, the fastest way from point A to point B is a straight line. So if we can get pressure up the middle and move him off his spot, I saw at least four times, and again I watched almost every pressure that came from the Texans to the Rams. Once he got off his spot, there were three times, I think within the first two quarters, where he just dirted the ball. And
Hmm.
if we can create that quick pressure, whether it's via blitz or whatever it may be, he doesn't want to take a lot of hits, and he's going to get the ball out. But Matt Stafford looked good last week. That's one thing that I will say. I mean, 21
Yep.
of 29, 72% completion percentage, 245 yards. He had a touchdown, a long of 36. I mean, he played some ball, and one of his key targets was Puka Nacua. He was targeted
Problem.
11 times,
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
catches, and 30 of them things.
Hmm.
So that is something that's going to be. We've got to really play some ball if we're going to deal with him. He had 43 yards after catch it. He accounted for 7 first downs. Puka did. I mean, if we're going to have any chance, we're going to have to really slow him down. And he's played in the slot more this first game than he did all of last year and really all of his career. So being able to slow down Puka is going to be something that's big for us, and it's going to be up to Roger in
Hmm.
how we do that. And Devontae Adams is a piece. Hopefully, Sneed is not on as heavy as a pitch count, and we can play him in more productive ways. But even Devontae Adams had 4 catches for 50 yards, averaging 12 yards of completion. So we're really going to have to work. But Sauce, you're a Puka guy, both in fantasy and real life. Tell me about what are things we could do to slow down Puka Nakua? Do we have to get hands on
Um,
him? What do you think is going to be the best for us?
Pray.
it's gonna be praying. Yeah, whole lot of prayer, a whole lot of oil. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah. I,
Yeah.
I don't know
He
what
he
we're
he
gonna be able
he,
to
he
do.
can route some people up.
Yeah, the key of the game is just you honestly have to just disrupt Matt Stafford's timing. Now, I'll be real, like the key to this, in my opinion, I think Puka's gonna eat regardless. I think you're just gonna have to just take that. Like it just is what it is. What scares me more is Devontae Adams, in my personal opinion, because it becomes a thing of if Sneed is on that pitch count, now you got Jarvis Brownlee on him. And after he just had a
Yeah.
rough week last week, trying to get handsy with that big guy, like it, and he could put him in a blender quick. You know what I mean? He got
Hmm.
so much in his repertoire of how he can just route this man up. So, with him just being on the island, that scares me. Oh, the name of the game is just disrupt Matthew Stafford's time and flush him out the pocket, force him to make uncomfortable throws. That's gonna be the name of the game.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to look up. I'm gonna have to do this some other time, but I want to look up his average depth of target because, to me, Matt Stafford. I mean, he is phenomenal in the quick passing game. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
even though like you could bring all the pressure you want, I mean, he can get that ball out so freaking quick that it may not be good enough. And another piece that he could dump it off to is Kyron Williams. Dude, Kyron Williams is a phenomenal um,
Yeah,
receiver out of the backfield, great running back in general. I mean, their offensive repertoire is going to be something really difficult to deal with.
8.7 yards is his average depth of target.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty solid. He's getting that ball out
Hmm.
overall, and that's something where if you can't get pressure and that ball's moving, you're in for a long day. The Texans did a
Yep.
good job of slowing down Kyron Williams. He only had 66 yards, 3.7 yards per carry. I was on 18 carries. His long was only 9 yards, and he did get a touchdown out of that. But uh, you know, he didn't have the greatest week. And if we can make them as one dimensional as possible and put them in situations where they have to pass the ball, knowing they have a somewhat compromised offensive line, especially with the injuries, that's going to give us the biggest chance to victory because we have to make him uncomfortable. If you don't make
Hmm.
Matt Stafford uncomfortable, he will throw for 300 yards with ease and multiple
yes,
touchdowns and will ruin
Yep.
your day. You will
yep,
never
Yeah.
get off the field on third down, and eventually that back-breaking deep play is going to happen because the Rams are known for having dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk, play action, shot you. I mean, that's just what it is. So we're going to have to really come prepared if we're going to slow down Matt Stafford. And it's going to be up to some of our edge rushers playing a different style game. I know we were kind of
Hmm.
keep the bird in the cage last week with Bo Nix, and we did a pretty solid job of that. He only got out of the pocket truly once and made plays with his legs. But on the other side of the house, we really need to make sure that we can push him and have the edge rushers play a little bit more free this week. Obviously, still setting the edge in the run game, but maybe we see a different version of some of those edge guys when they're not so focused on the quarterback who can run. That's what I'm hoping, but we shall see.
Yeah, we shall
man.
see. Let's just hope
We
that L'Jarius Sneed's got some of those pitches left in the second half.
Goodness gracious, man. We need them as much as we can have them, Paul. So, looking at our pass catchers and the lack thereof last week and what we're going to need this week, they've
Man.
got some solid players on the defensive side of the ball. Cam Curl being a safety who really brings it. He's consistently playing pretty hard and making plays on that side of the house. You've got Akilo Witherspoon and Darius Williams. Witherspoon's taking the place of Ramsey from a few years back. So, they got some guys who can play. Cam Curl, really, to me, being their most formidable piece there at safety. He reminds me a lot of Talanoa Hufanga, who we played last week, where he's just all over the place. He's a physical
Hmm.
guy in the run-stopping game, has the athleticism to play safety really well. And then Nate Landman, who was I think, he was the defensive player of the week, for all the NFL. So Nate Landman is their linebacker that they have. So they got some guys who can play and can make things difficult versus over the middle of the field and in our secondary. Cody, tell me about what our pass catchers have to do to be successful this week.
Catch the freaking ball. Like, just get back to the basics. Calvin Ridley, to me, he's got to have 12 to 14 targets this game. I mean, to me, I don't really know their corners that well, which makes me think that they're probably not as good as Patrick Surtain. So Calvin really needs to. I mean, he needs to get the ball as much as possible, and he needs to be able to catch the ball.
Agreed. Sauce, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm very confident in Ridley. I think he'll have a really good bounce back game. I rarely seen Ridley have two back to back nasty games like that. So I think this is a real week. You will see him featured. You'll see him confident. I think him and Kim will be on the same page. They were able to look at a lot in film, and I'm confident that you'll see a different Titans offense this week. So
Mhm.
same with Ellick, same with the other guys. I think just guys will be a lot more crisp, a lot more precise on their routes, and just know the game plan in the installment and just know where to be. And when they get to these and letting Cam play free, this is a thing that's just going to continue to build over time throughout the season. Like this is a gelling thing. So we got to be real zen with watching these guys work. This would be special when it finally clicks. When it clicks, it's on. So
It'd be nice if if we run a screen pass, everybody's not blocking
Yes.
as well.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was nasty.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think, man? I mean, he's got to have, to me, Calvin Ridley, like I said, I think he's got to have 12 to 14 targets. Like, I think he has got to be the main focus of this offense. I think he needs to take over this game. But who is number two? Like, who can Cam also look for?
Mm,
In my opinion, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting game for Ellick because Akilo Witherspoon is a 6'2" corner, but a lot of
Hmm.
times, they don't shadow a lot. So I think you can create some matchups where you've got Ayomanor on Darius Williams, who's 5'9", and really have using that size advantage because Alec is 6'2", 6'3", strong
Hmm.
hands. I mean, as long as he catches the ball, but normally if he gets his hands on the ball, he catches it. Really having an advantage for Alec Ayomanor, and I want to see more of Tyler Lockett, the chain mover.
He
That's
yeah,
where
didn't
I
even get a
wanted him to
target
come.
last game.
Like it was the ghost of Tyler Lockett out there a lot of times, and and when I did see him, I wasn't paying specific attention to his routes, but there was never a moment I was like, oh, Lockett was open right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that Lockett comes in and plays more of a role and puts more pressure on their linebackers because I think that makes their defense play a little bit different. You're not as keen to send corner blitzes and things of that sort when you know that the slot receiver has the potential to route up any sort of linebacker that you have if you put them on them. So I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to seeing Ellick against Darius Williams, a smaller corner who does play physical, but Ellick has that ability as well. But Tyler Lockett really matching up against some of these linebackers. Sure, Nate Landman, is quote unquote a guy to remember. Whatever, you got to prove it to me. I don't give a darn about that. I want to see Tyler Lockett get involved in the offense and us not be so one dimensional in terms of our target share. Sauce, what are
yeah.
your thoughts?
I really want to see the tight ends get involved. I think this is a game where you can have a couple of guys that can just get open. Like I said, I believe in Gunnar Helm. I believe in Chig, and I think they can be a vital piece in this game as well as Ellick and Ridley. I think you start with Ridley and hyper focus, and then you work your way down, and you let the offense flow through that. Let your connection with Ridley get it going. From there, let them back off, play honest. You know what I'm saying? You get a couple of runs in there with Tony Pollard, but like, you know, yeah, let's be a little unorthodox this week. I want to
Hmm.
see it mixed up and confident. I want us to play fast and confident this week.
Yeah,
Yeah, I completely
I saw
agree.
a stat earlier that said that Alec Ayomanor was number one in missed area yard like
Mm,
completions. Like he was ahead of
hmm
CD Lamb. CD Lamb was number two with like 120 yards or something like that.
Yeah,
So we're taking. I mean, we're taking shots with Alec.
yeah,
I
and
love it.
it's
I
all
love
about
to see
coming
it.
down with some of those. And I think one thing he'll learn too is like, and there wasn't a lot of passes that were off target. There were some plays that were just good plays by the corner, and I don't think he dropped any of those deep shots. But one or two of those are going to connect, and once that connection starts building, I think that helps Ridley out so much because
Yes.
Hmm.
right now, Ridley is really. I know people look at his speed, but Ridley is really not your deep shot guy. He's a deep crosser guy, maybe, but he's really known for being a route technician, finding spots in the zone, killing man to man. You want a guy who's your true X receiver who you can take that deep shot with, be physical down the field, draw a flag. That's what you want Alec to be. So that's a great point, Cody. And, let's continue to take those shots to him. I don't care if he finishes. I mean, obviously, I want them to complete those, but I would love for him to have the most targeted air yards for our season at the end of this year, because that would prove a lot. And he had a solid game one. Let me not act like he was just trash, but
7
he can take
targets,
some
2
steps.
receptions, 13 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
Could have been, 50 yards if, the coach knew the rule book, but what do we know?
That's definitely true. So jumping forward to a few of the X factors for this game and how we think we can compete. What do you think, Sauce, is your biggest X factor to this game? What's going to put the Titans in position to potentially come out with the victory?
Are we talking on both sides of the ball or
anything? What's going to give us a chance to come out with the victory?
I would say discipline and confidence. Those will take you far. You know what I'm saying? I think the defense last week came out confident, but we let the pressure get to us. We let the frustration build, throughout the game, and we started making just dumb plays. That 130 yards worth of penalties cannot happen this week. Like, we have to come out sound, confident, disciplined.
Jarvis Brownlee Jr., 70 of those are on you, son. Get your hands off.
Come on, man. He's touchy,
Unbelievable.
huh?
Like, man. Goodness gracious, man.
Hey, but yeah, man, like, let's come out and play confident. Let's play fast. I really believe in this team, and I believe in these guys. So I think that is the key. Like, they beat themselves last week, coach and all. You know what I'm saying? This ties to you too, Callie. Yeah, yeah. Let's coach fast. Let's come out there confident. You got this, man. So, I think these guys can squeak out a win. You know what I mean? So that's me.
I like the discipline aspect, and we'll come back to you for your score prediction. So get that ready here in a second. Cody, talk to me, dog.
Cam Ward. It's all about Cam Ward. I mean, you watch y'all 22. I mean, he's throwing dots out there. He's hitting people.
Looks amazing.
I mean, he phenomenal throws. Dan Orlovsky loved the tape. I haven't seen anybody say anything bad about the tape. We just need our players to help him. Like, just help him. So all the offensive ancillary pieces around him need to do their part, because he's going to find them. And the offensive line needs to hold up.
Completely agree. And, we're like 1 or 2 catches away that were drops from talking about Cam Ward having like 170 yards. You know what I mean? Like over 50% completion percentage. Like, those numbers look way different if 2 or 3 plays that didn't happen happened the positive way for us. And that's a pretty interesting thing to think about, Cody, is, you talk about Cam Ward. For me, it's actually Denard Wilson. I think if Denard Wilson can find a way to continue, 2 of our interceptions, one of them happened where we showed a cover 2 look, rotated into a cover 3 cloud. Bo Nix thought he had something that wasn't there. Here comes Xavier Woods for the pick. I mean, there were multiple times where he just had Bo Nix confused. Now, Bo Nix has seen about a year's worth of football. Matt Stafford has seen a lifetime worth of football. Yeah. They're 2 totally different guys. But if you can make him think that extra second, given our time giving our guys time to get there, that can change things. And just, again, trying to generate pressure as best as we can. I saw us do a ton of different things defensively. I saw us with 5 down linemen. I saw us with 4 down linemen rotating Femi back to be as a middle linebacker, rotating to a 4-3 look. I mean, we did so much out there, and I really would appreciate Denard for continuing to do that. And the defense, step up when that play is there. Turnovers tend to come in bunches. Let's keep it going. Those bunches just aren't singular games. Typically, it's 3 to 4 games of multiple turnovers once you get them rolling. Let's start off the season like that and prove that we've got a defense. And hopefully, if the things Sauce talked about with playing with confidence and playing discipline, whether it's our receivers catching the ball, defensive players keeping the hands off, and Cody talking about Cam pulling through, then we'll be fine. If you've got to pick one player Cody. Right now, you've got 10 seconds. One player who's the most valuable player of this game, and the Titans win. Who's it going to be outside of Cam Ward?
Calvin Ridley.
Ooh, I like it. Sauce, 10 seconds, baby. Most valuable player
Ooh.
of this game if the Titans are going to win.
Jeffery Simmons.
Ooh, I like it. Take advantage on the inside.
Also, I got to say one more thing. I think Brian Callahan, he needs to have a week where we're just a good coaching week. He needs to have a week where
Yeah.
we're not talking about him. Like,
Yeah.
if it comes out and there's just, like, we're saying nothing, I think that's a good week for him. Like, he
completely
needs to have
agree.
that.
Like, no blunders. Like for me,
Yeah.
I'm fine if we've had a whole, the play calling is just solid. There's nothing to complain about. We understand. It may have been super conservative, whatever, but no major blunders, no mismanagement of the clock or timeouts, no mismanagement of your challenges, mismanagement of your brain and not knowing the rules. Like,
Yeah.
we need you to just have a solid game. Don't be
He's
the
going to
reason
be
why
under
we
a
lose.
microscope.
Mhm.
Goodness, yeah. Don't be the reason
See-
why we lose.
And that's my thing. Callie, go out there and have fun, bud. Callie, smile. Oh, won't you smile a while for me? Callie.
What is
I want to see
going
him out there
on?
pouring it on. I want to see him out there pouring it on the Rams. First home game. Like, let us run down Broadway going crazy, man. Get out there and pour it on. I'm talking about a 30-40 ball, man. Like, they can't go out there. I'm talking about Zombie Land going crazy.
I mean, because the reality is, as a Titans fan, I'm not going to say we all, the majority of us who are realistic know this isn't a Super Bowl year for us. We're not concerned about that, but
How
we
do you
want
know
to
that,
see
buddy?
progress. Okay. This is, guys, I'm
Hey,
so
we're
sorry.
not out of the playoff race yet.
Yeah,
We're
we're not
not.
out of it yet.
We
Yeah.
got time,
The Chiefs
baby.
are 0-1.
I'm telling you,
We got time.
if the Chiefs are 0-1,
Yeah, we got a
and
chance,
they can
baby.
fight their way to a Super Bowl, we can do the same thing. Why not? What did Russell Westbrook? What's his thing? Why not us? Come on, man. But no,
Russell Westbrook
realistic.
always always, hey, let's go out there and just have fun, guys.
Yeah, that definitely pivoted. That pivoted real quick.
LeBron just looks like
All right. but we're not really expecting Super Bowl right now, but we want to see progress. And the bar for you as a coach is set pretty low right now. And just show us progress. Don't have the boneheaded blunders that you've had. I don't care if you need to call Zach Allen and say, hey, I'm going to put a Bluetooth in my ear. Tell me what I need to do. I don't care what you have to do. Figure it out, man. We need that desperately. Just come out and don't blow the game. But to wrap up this show, score prediction time. Last week, Cody, you had us losing by double digits. We didn't quite lose by that much, but we got close. I had us right around. I think I was the closest, so I'm going to say I'm 1-0. Randy had us winning. He was on drugs. Now, let's close this out. I'll go first this time. I know I've forced you guys to go first all show. I'm going with a Tennessee Titans win. I'm back. A Tennessee Titans win. 17-14. Field goal, Joey Slaughter.
ooh,
60 yards. A low-scoring game. I think the Rams will continue to have a low-scoring game. I think our defense can keep us in it long enough. And if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, for the first time this year, I'm giving us this win, this victory, the first time of 2 weeks. I'm giving us this victory, 17-14. You call me crazy. I get it. But this is where I'm at. I'm going to jump to the person who's probably a little bit more sane than me right now, Cody. Give me your score prediction for this week.
yeah, I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. I'm going to take them. Let's call it 28-20. And I think it comes down. Sean McVay is just a savant, and Brian Callahan is still learning the basics.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. Sauce, talk to me.
Buckle up, fellas. Yep. I need your two-tone glasses on. Let's flip them down, and let's ride. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Callie has a bounce-back week. 24-12 Titans. Let's go, baby.
A double-digit win?
Double tutty. Double tutty. They've been holding Cam back all preseason. He goes out there in Nissan Stadium, and he gets his touchdowns in bunches. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
24-12
I
Titans.
think Cam's going to have
Book
about 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, I think.
Woo, talk that talk, Cody. I like that.
Give me 300.
See,
Oh,
then here he comes.
Listen, and now I know, Cody. If you would have said 300, he would have said 350, which
Come on, we
makes
gotta up
it even
it.
more
We gotta
mad.
up it.
Oh my gosh, man!
Ride with me, baby. Hop in. Y'all got the two-tone glasses on. Let's. You gonna say let's ride because that's bad luck. But tighten up, man.
The difference is we're riding in cars. You're on a pedal tavern. I don't know where you're going,
Hey, all the booze.
but it's
all the
nowhere
booze.
fast. But man, look, thank you guys so much. Anything to wrap up today's show? Any comments, questions, concerns? Cody, talk to the people to close us out today.
Man, hey, it's good. It's another game week. We need a win. You know, Sauce believes, Lim believes. I don't. But hey, at least there's two of us that does.
Hey, maybe that's all we
generate
need.
DK to the moon. He can make another play for us, and we may win this game.
Yeah,
Woo.
yeah. I can't
might
close
house
this
it.
episode without saying Bones Fossil, week 1, excellent job. From what we've seen from special teams for the last few years, you're going to the Hall of Fame for all of
Hey.
it.
Yep. Drink
you see-
lots of beers, drink responsibly, and be loud in there. Let's
Hey,
make a
man.
difference.
Let's go, baby.
Let's
the
go.
difference.
Let's go. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. This is our preview episode, Titans vs. Rams, week 2. We'll see you guys right after the game. Peace.
Chris, man.
Tighten up.